Hello and welcome to the Stress Mastery Podcast. I am your host, Peggy Romero. Thank you for joining me today. Finally, it's Saturday, and we will close out the week where we've been discussing pain. I don't see any reason to look up the definition for pain. We all know what pain looks like and feels like, and most of us, unfortunately, can quickly just feel it by visualization. Immediately you get it, like, yuck. Ouch, or dang, that hurts. We've all been hurt so many times in so many ways by so many people. It's just a part of life. If you're going to open up your heart, then you're susceptible to pain. But we have to open up because we need connection and love. We need each other. Is the pain of a broken heart worth the joy that you felt for that time? I say yes, absolutely yes. Of course, I think of a broken heart first because I love love. I just can't help it. So there's so many different kinds of pain, though. We all have physical, emotional, and psychological pain. We have the pain of defeat and the pain of change. The pain of trying to change and failing. Fear is often physically painful for me. I don't like to be scared. It hurts. So I don't watch scary movies anymore because, honestly, they're painful. They're so uncomfortable. It hurts my heart. I can feel my heart race and my whole body tighten up, and I hate it. The last scary movie I purposely watched was The Shining, and that was in 1980. I mean, how many years ago was that? I did accidentally watch a really scary movie in 2001. It was Training Day, Denzel Washington. I got totally involved in this movie because I just love Denzel. And once I realized how much rougher the story was than I thought, I just kept watching it anyways. I was so invested in the characters. Like, I couldn't stop watching. I was hooked. So it was nighttime, and I was home all alone, all crouched up in the corner of my couch in the living room. I still remember. I was curled up in this blanket. Actually, my heart still races just telling the story from all those years ago because it was so intense. I was sitting in the corner of the couch squatting on my toes, with my knees all bent in a squat, just ready to leap up and into action at any second if I needed to. Crazy. Why would you let yourself be so scared? That's painful. I just don't like that feeling. It's too intense. My heart was pounding in my head, like slightly achy from the tension. Now that's what I call self-inflicted pain. There's also suffering, agony, affliction, torture, torment, and discomfort. Many times pain is self-inflicted, though. Some of it comes from making bad choices for ourselves. But what about the pain for making good choices for ourselves? Aha! Now there's something to think about. Change. We decide to make a change, and it's a change for the better, right? It doesn't seem right, but that's painful. It's going to hurt a little bit. Stepping out of the cage is uncomfortable. So you've made up your mind. I intend to be different. And to be different, to grow, you're going to have to make changes in your life. We all know if you don't change, nothing changes. But we know changes aren't always easy. And I'll tell you, for me, they're certainly not always graceful either. So what about that kind of pain? The pain from changing your habits, the pain from losing your friends, the pain of becoming a new person with a new life, with a new purpose. What about the embarrassment of falling flat on your face 5 times? I mean, ouch, that hurts. The pain of falling and getting back up over and over again, no matter what. The pain of creating new skills and habits. And the pain of learning new things that are so uncomfortable at first. What about the pain of building new muscles and having a nicer body that comes from the pain of going to the gym regularly when you're not used to it at all? Or going for a walk when it's freezing cold outside? Or too hot outside? The pain of trying out different diets until you find the right one? The pain of saying, no, I can't go with you guys tonight. I got to go to bed. I got to get up early every morning to set my day. How about this one? The pain of looking at the scale or your bank account or anything that you've been working really hard on and realizing that you've made no visible progress. Owie, that hurts. Let's call those growing pains. But aren't those growing pains the cornerstone of changing your life? Of becoming the new you? Those growing pains make us stronger. Those growing pains we know are only for a season because it's just a part of developing the new you. If you're going to reach your potential, you better be ready for those growing pains because you're going to experience lots of them. It can't be helped. It's impossible. So here's the thing. It's a pain to stay the way you are unless you're exactly who you always wanted to be, but I doubt it because most of us aren't. And if we're honest, we all can grow and change. We all have desires to do better. So let's say that we want to make some changes in our life. You make a plan and it's aligned to your purpose. We've all talked about purpose and stuff on the podcast. If you don't know your purpose, reach out. We'll help you, hook you up with that. When you're truly aligned to your purpose, you're going to feel a tug at your heartstrings. It's like a pull, a knowing. It's trying to pull you up. Guys, that's God talking to you. He's saying, come on, you're awake. Listen to your calling. Listen to your heart. It's your true desire and it's aligned with mine. You found your purpose. Now go for it. I'll be with you. I'm going to help you. That's God's message to you. And that's what we all want, right? To live our life on purpose, to hear the Holy Spirit, to be aligned with God. I mean, what else on earth are we here for besides peace and hope and love? Okay, so now you feel that pull upward towards your higher self, right? You know what you're supposed to do. You can feel it. The spark, the desire, that still small voice. Call it what you want. But like I said, it's a knowing because you know. So you're scared because it's so painful to step out. And suddenly you decide, I'll wait until tomorrow to grow and change. I'll wait till tomorrow to be the best me. So you sit there wasting time and doing nothing. But now the pain is different. It's another type of pain. It's, I guess, let's call it uneasiness. This is the discomfort of the resistance, which is also painful. It will most likely feel like restlessness. Of course you're restless. There's work to be done, and you're sitting on the couch not doing it. That's going to make you feel very uncomfortable. Now that's pain, and it's conflict. It's the true self fighting with your ego. You'd like to change. The ego is designed to keep you trapped exactly where you are. This is stinking torture for us, right? Especially for a vitality purpose. Now, there's something to think about. Do you want to go through the pain of making the phone call or going for the walk or hopping on the treadmill, whatever it is you're avoiding? We've all got it. Or will you sit there in complete agony pretending to enjoy the mindlessness of watching that TV show that you know you could watch later if you really wanted to? What will you choose? It's conflict resolution at its finest. Either choice will be uncomfortable, but action has resolution. Sitting there in avoidance is not resolving the conflict. It's just going to lead to more suffering, more pain. So we all procrastinate, though, and we always have. So I'm going to tell you guys about a Bible story that just has cracked me up forever. It's so funny. I think of it occasionally, probably more often than I want to, because I don't understand it. I don't understand the why, I guess. So, okay, you guys probably know at least part of the story. The Hebrews were enslaved in Egypt for several hundred years. And Moses had been demanding that Pharaoh release the slaves. Let my people go. So picture this. This starts in Exodus 8:6. And of course, I'm paraphrasing. I'm not reading the Bible right now. So Aaron stretched out his hands over the waters of Egypt, and the frogs came up and covered the land. They had them everywhere. Frogs everywhere. They were hopping all over the streets and in every room of every house in the land. I can imagine you could hear them croaking from miles away. Rivet, rivet, all over the place. They were in their beds and in their cupboards. They were jumping on tables onto their dinner plates. I mean, they were everywhere. Gross. So Pharaoh calls Moses and Aaron and says, take these frogs away from my people and I will let your people go. So Moses says to Pharaoh, great. Let me know when and I'll get rid of the frogs. Of course, except the ones that are going to stay in the Nile River. Guess what Pharaoh says? Tomorrow. Tomorrow? What the heck? I have never figured that out. He chose to spend another night in pain. He could have let it go right then, but instead he chose tomorrow. It had to have been miserable, disgusting, and loud. How could you even sleep like that? But I guess this is our human nature. We make things harder than they have to be. Why did he do that? I mean, was it his ego? I guess it must have been. He must have been stuck in pride, acting like it wasn't that bad. I don't know. But we all do this kind of thing. We put off till tomorrow what we could do today. Resistance, avoidance, pain. Why would you ever spend one more night with the frogs? Why? And yet we do it every single day. Every time we say we will start tomorrow. Okay, so I got a little off track, but you guys get it, right? Change often comes with some pain, and staying the same always comes with pain. Often we notice and realize the comfort zone really isn't all that comfortable. It seems worth it to me to make the changes to be our best self, to allow that knowing, that tug on our heartstrings to pull us up, to draw us near, to climb the mountain for the rest of our lives, to never settle. I feel so good when I have a productive day. I cannot imagine how good I'm going to feel when I look back and see and know that I had a productive life. I especially love knowing that the time that I spend really does help others to have a better life. I know I'm getting a little syrupy because it's the end of the year and I tend to look back to see like which of my goals I hit and what I've done. And I can actually say, good job, Peg. Keep up the good work. So I don't know why I always walk around with a million song lyrics in my head. Lots of things remind me of songs like every day. I'm kind of singing to myself a lot. Well, this week's podcast reminds me of Carly Simon. I haven't got time for the pain. You guys, make a commitment to let things go. We don't have time for pain. Anything that you're carrying with you that doesn't serve you just creates suffering. Release it and let it go. The techniques that Bill teaches us, the techniques of stress mastery, really work. Use them. All we have to do is put one foot in the other. Like I said, if you fall, it's okay. Just get back up. Keep on moving. Remember that sometimes pain can help us. It's like you remember, oh, yeah, I'm not going to do that again because that hurt too bad when I did it. It keeps us safe. So learn from your pains and heartaches in your life. Grow from the lessons. Learn. Use them to your benefit. Be willing to walk through pain. Face your pain from the past and let it go for once and for all. Remember, here's the great part of it. When a program activates, you don't have to sit there and wallow in it. When a program activates, you have the opportunity to let it go. Don't waste the opportunity by turning your focus to something else because you don't want to feel it. Ask yourself, can I allow this feeling? Well, of course you can. It hurts and it's okay. Just be willing to accept it. Then you can let it go. It's just a memory. You are not that thought, not that feeling, and not that emotion that you're feeling. Let it go. Remind yourself who you really are. You get to replace the painful thoughts with happy ones. You get to replace the old programs with anything you choose. It's beautiful. I'm not sure about you guys, but having this opportunity to think about pain all week was really eye-opening for me. Just like you, my life has not always been easy, and I've had plenty of pain and loss. And I decided to become a better person and start in stress mastery a few years ago. I thought, wow, this is going to be great. My life's going to be beautiful and wonderful. But guess what? I got my butt kicked. I've lived with betrayal and lost friends and family that I really thought would support me no matter what I did. Unfortunately, I found out that unconditional love that I have for others isn't always reciprocated. But here's the beauty of it all. The pain, the loss, the stories of the ego came up in full force this week. Of course, I'm thinking about pain, so it's hard to think about pain and different kinds of pain without identifying it to myself, right? But guess what? Most of the time, I wasn't activated at all. I didn't react. I didn't spend my week thinking about pain and what's happened to me and crying and feeling sorry for myself. Quite the contrary. I thought about things that have happened, even some that are really recent. I allowed the feelings to come through, but not too many came. I'm so happy. I've let so much go. Really, I brought up hard stuff to my mind, and I had zero activation. So that means I've worked through most of my pain. I've worked through my breakup. Oh, I'm so glad. I actually realized this is the first breakup I've ever had in my whole entire life that I went through without feeling the hurt, the failure, the devastation, and pain of every breakup, death, or loss that I ever experienced before that one. This is huge for me. That's a huge program released. I realized years ago that every time I lost a person, I grieved every person I had ever lost in my life. I'm talking about every loss of every relationships for decades. Can you imagine? I saw it. I knew it was happening again, but I couldn't stop it. Why am I crying over my 16-year-old boyfriend when I broke up with my boyfriend when I was 40? It sucks. It hurts so bad, and it hurts over and over. I didn't understand the ego or how to fix it. I didn't have any tools. Now that's long-term suffering, and I'm telling you, it's senseless. Talk about pain. But it seems I can say today with confidence and gratitude, I have finally worked through those losses. Ta-da! And remember, once you release the program, it's gone, and it's gone for good. That's the beauty of it. That's what makes it worth it all, to go through it. I don't have to relive the heartaches of those past relationships over and over again. Not ever again. And life's too short. Okay, see. I haven't got time for the pain. Sorry, I couldn't resist. It came to my mind again. Maybe I'll take singing lessons so I'll be better. You guys, that's it for today's podcast. I really hope this helps you get out of any of the painful feelings that you have. I pray that you are enjoying your family and having a beautiful holiday season. Remember, don't get too busy to enjoy it because time goes by too fast. Tell your people you love them. Give them a kiss and a hug. You know, I heard that everybody needs at least one hug a day to grow and even more than that to thrive. So hug someone today. Maybe you'll relieve their pain. You never know what your act of kindness is going to do for someone else. Share the love. It's Christmas time. So we'll see you next week where our topic is desire. That'll be great. I'm really excited about that one. Remember, our mission here is to create a shift in the planet, and you can join us on that mission by simply like, share, and subscribe. The links are right below the show notes. As always, until next time, stay inspired.